welcome in. It is so great to connect with you again on this cooler winter's day. So are you living to the seasons that are going on where you're living now? You see, with the advancement of technology, of the reduction of the size of the world due to transport, all of these other things, and we've got our lighting and we've got a whole lot of beautiful modern day technology that we can keep our life quite similar each and every day. But the thing is, we need to live to our seasons. So while you can keep your house warm and you can keep your house lit up at night, we still want to live towards the seasons and act in flow of nature and the season that you're living with at the moment. So are you doing that? Are you living according to your season? You see, here on the Gold Coast in Queensland, it is cold. We've had a bit of a cold snap this week, and so the temperatures have suddenly turned a lot colder. And what needs to happen now with our bodies is we need to be able to stay in sync with nature. You see, animals follow the seasons. They change their lifestyle, they change their routines, or even some of the aspects of their body according to the nature, according to the season of nature. But we don't do that with us. We tend to forget about that because of our fast-paced world. And what I'm here to challenge you with today is to be aware of the season of where you're at. If it's a bit cooler where you are, then dress accordingly, act accordingly, and live according to that season. You see, what I find is that winter is a time that we should slow down a little bit, that we should spend a little bit more time nourishing ourselves, that we should have rest and relaxation, that inner reflection, and that time to recharge in preparation for the activity of spring again. And when we think about that, nature is very similar to that. Nature slows down the trees. Some of the leaves on the trees might decrease or fall off. We don't get as many flowers through winter, and then spring we get an influx of color and flowers and growth on all of our trees. So think about that with where you are in your life. So the cooler temperatures, what does that mean? Well, it means that we need to dress a little bit warmer, that we need to add extra layers of clothing, and we need to stay that warmer core body temperature or extremities, so that it supports our temperature of our body, because the immune cells, they don't like it when there's a big fluctuation in temperatures. And so I always grew up remembering my grandma would tell us to always stay warm, otherwise we'd get sick. And there is that kind of adage of that old wives' tale of staying warm so that you can protect your immune system, and that can protect you. But I also remember growing up that my horses would grow, their coat would get thicker through winter, and that was there to help protect them against the cooler weather. And so why not do that for you? Why not put on those extra layers? Find some clothing that helps to keep you warm through, depending on what the temperature is for your day. So you might have a few extra layers in the morning, take some of them off. And here in Queensland, we are not used to layering. Granted, Victorians and southern people that live in the southern states of Australia are a lot more used to doing the layering. But here in Queensland, we're not so used to that. But looking at how you can put on the extra clothing so that you can stay warm. And that will help ward off illness as well. So keeping warmth is the first one. But also the shorter days and the longer nights. Think about what that means for you. Should it be, if we were living with nature, should it be that we have more rest time? You see, because of the artificial lighting these days, we tend to stay awake until whatever time it is that we normally go to bed, or even beyond what we normally should go to sleep at, and push ourselves too much. But think about the shorter days and the longer nights as being time to rest and recuperate. Spending some time inward, whether it be through meditation, whether it be through relaxing, whatever it is for you that can help you to rest and recharge for the busier summer months, warmer weather. You see, for myself in winter, I tend to not get up as early. I tend to stay in bed, or I tend to stay in a warm space. In summer, I will be walking anywhere from 4:30 in the morning, because it's light, it's bright, it's warm, it encourages me to get up. But in winter, I find that I tend to seek the warmth. So I tend to want to stay in bed or stay somewhere where I'm warm. And so for that first little while, I might do some meditation, or I might do some reflection or journaling, and then get up and go walking around 6 o'clock. So it's a little bit later and a little bit warmer, and brighter as well. So it's about adjusting your lifestyle to what it is that the season is bringing for you. And then also in winter, this is the important one that I find for a lot of my clients, is eating to the season. So eating, one, the foods that are in season, and consuming foods in your local area. Because also with the advancement of the transport industry and being able to import a lot of foods from overseas, we can have summer fruits from, say, America brought into Australia, and we can be eating those, but they're not in our local area and they're not conducive to our health. Why would you want to be eating your summer fruits in winter at a time when your body is probably more likely wanting your root vegetables? And then looking at how you're cooking your meals. Are you using casseroles and slow cooks instead of salads at this time of the year? Because those casseroles and those slow cooks have got more of those root vegetables, more of that heartiness to help feed and sustain your body, instead of the light, airy salads that we tend to have during summer. And then also using things like soups instead of smoothies. And again, because those soups are nourishing and they've got a lot of those winter root vegetables in them. But think about these winter vegetables, particularly the sweet potato, the carrots. They've all got beta-carotene in there. Beta-carotene helps to support your immune system, helps to give your immune system that extra nutritional factor it needs to protect you, to protect your mucous membranes from the respiratory viruses that can come around in winter. So eating for the season is very important so that you can keep your health, sustain your health. And then it's about having that living life that so it supports your health and your lifestyle, rather than living the same way all through summer, winter, spring, autumn. Living according to how the season is dictating for you is very important. So what could you do to help support your body through the cooler months? Might be putting on the extra clothes, but what about doing yoga instead of the early morning walk? Doing more stretching, doing more of the lower activity, maybe inside a warmer room. Hot yoga would be great at the moment, but doing something where it's a little bit more, I was going to say sedentary, but not sedentary, a little bit more gentle, and that supports your body in these cooler months when it's time to rest and recharge, rather than running flat out like the rest of the year when we do. What about meals? What meals are you selecting at the moment to feed yourself and your family? How could you make casseroles and slow cooks and soups that can nourish you? But I love it in winter because I get to be able to make these foods, and I make extra so that I can freeze a lot of these meals and have them when I'm so busy getting home from work or from kids' after school activities, sports activities, that kind of thing. I've got these meals already prepared in my freezer, and I can bring them out, defrost them, and heat them up to feed myself and my family. So how can you live in accordance with the seasons of nature of what's around you at the moment? Remembering we should change with the seasons, and that helps to support our health. So I look forward to seeing you next time. I'm Teresa Todd, transformational naturopath and biochemist.